And of those, they chose 750 of these sightings. They were so credible that it was, well, they were over military bases. They had ranking military officers on the ground watching the UFO go at close range with an F-94. I forgot what the planes were. F-90. There was jets that they were using, F-94 something, that was behind it. And so the pilot was in the plane looking at the UFO, flying at extreme high speeds right behind it. People were watching the two go over, and the radar was watching the two blend on over the top of that on these 750 ones that they looked. When they when they did the investigation on those, they came up with the final result after 5 years of testing is that whoever's doing this is not from here. There is no technology in 1952 they saw. These ships, they were describing the UFOs in front of them, and when they would lock on with the ship would disappear, literally vanish, and reappear either 10 miles in front of them, so they're completely out of range, or directly behind them. And then when they would be out in front of them, let them catch up so they could look at them. But if they locked on radar, they'd disappear and reappear somewhere else. They watched them travel at over 60,000 miles. You think we had anything in 1952 that fly 60,000 an hour? Not likely. They watched them, they tracked jets as they were following them going up and up and up and up and up. The jets couldn't fly any higher. And they watched these things just keep going and disappeared. And it wasn't just a few. They had 46,000 of them, and they had 750 that they were looking at very, very, very carefully. And so what happened right after he published this, for some reason, he died at 35 years old. And the book became popular for a little while, and then it disappeared. It hasn't been in print for 46 years. I just reprinted it. It's only in English right now. The Flower of Life is in 15 languages, so we'll get this out in 15 languages. But if you want it, you can go to my website, below.net, and you can from there. It's only $14.95. In fact, you can go on to the spirit.com. It's www.spirit, S-P-I-R-I-T, O-F, Maat, M-A-A-T.com. And we have the whole book on the internet for free. So it's in English. If anybody translate into Spanish, we'll put it on Spanish. You know, if you want to do it. But absolute proof that they're here. But there's a lot of reasons why they don't want us to know about this. And I don't know if they're ever going to try this for sure. But what's going on here in your country is of major importance. See these guys, don't worry about it. There's nothing to fear. They are pure beings. They're not going to do anything to hurt you. There's one thing I'm going to say about them. You go take a break. When Carlos Diaz was sitting at the table with Carlos Diaz, who's been on board these ships, and I was talking to him, he said that they told him that they be on the surface of the earth a long, long time ago. I don't know how long that was. A long time ago, at least 1 million years or more ago. They walked around on Earth in some kind of form, and they had a technology, according to them, that was similar to ours, but different, but similar. And they also had no wisdom, and they were killing the planet. And they said an ET race came out of the heavens and landed and came up to them. All they did was tell them something about themselves, something they didn't know. And then they disappeared. And then they said it took about 100 years or so that they figured it out, what they were talking about. And they became pure light, at which point they chose to go into the earth, because there's dimensional levels in the earth. And they live in these dimensional sacs, orange sacs inside the earth. And that's what they say they want to do with us, is they just want to get our attention on a planetary level, and they just want to tell us something. They don't want to interfere. They don't want to do anything. They just want to tell us something about ourselves and then leave. And they figured that once we know this one thing, we will be able to solve our problems. And I think I know what that message is. And I'll tell you when we get back from the break. Okay. So we'll have a break for about 20 minutes or so, and then we'll come back, and then the second half of this is not going to be real long, because I'm only going to tell you this one. Okay. Thanks, you guys.